it reflects a guilt complex on the part of whites when they ask us, do we hate them? And if you notice, Uncle Sam has formed a habit of going all over the world. He calls it the ugly American, or the American image.
Skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate, you should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day. While the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor, he was telling you to build your own house.
Yo, yo, yo. Build your own house. Excuse me today, I was running. Didn't get the chance to straighten myself up. Welcome to Thursday night, the No PC show, 7:30. We are on time. I was going to do something different, but over the past few days since we did the Analyzing R. Kelly series on Monday, you know, and I'm sure everybody's tired of all this information that's been coming in all over the place, alleged information of things that happened. And it got me to thinking, and it actually got me disturbed on a lot of levels. So I wanted to add a part 2 to this conversation, and it's called Analyzing R. Kelly series, Trapped in Reality. I guess that was a proper title for Trapped in the Closet for what he was doing when he was talking about all the things that were going on in his life, showing us that it was a mess. And I started thinking, what was wrong with us? Because we were going along with all this music, even though we knew the different things. Then it kind of had me thinking, like, music has exposed us to so much different levels that it's kind of woven into our lives. I mean, we saw this guy's songs. Your mind's telling me no, but your body is telling me yes. We all played it. We all enjoyed it. 12 play. I don't see nothing wrong. Not just with R. Kelly, you know, Michael Jackson too. I never stopped listening to Michael Jackson songs because I was a Mike fan, and I just personally didn't believe that Mike did any of it. So you got R. Kelly fans that no matter what's happening, don't believe R. Kelly did it. Even with Bill Cosby, I don't think the man should be sitting in jail. I think there's a lot of people around all these stars that are complicit in what was allowed to go on and help these individuals to commit these alleged acts. especially around R. Kelly. That was the most shocking thing about the documentary. The nonsense that grown people were seeing and participating in. And now some people are trying to have denial, like Aaliyah's mother. You saw the documentary. You saw people walking in, saw them having sex, forging documentation. She wants to claim that they were always together, and now there's a story that came out that allegedly there was a threesome between R. Kelly, Aaliyah, and the mother. I can't say that that's true. I wasn't there. I don't know. This is supposedly some testimony that popped up from somewhere. I want to share this this video I kind of put together with a few things. If you're over on the Facebook side, we put a link in there. If you click that link, you can go over to the YouTube side and you can watch and see the illustrations and things that we're going to be putting up. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of hear it. So we're going to share this video. It's about 5 minutes long, so hopefully you got your libations with you. I'm going to share that right now.
Baby daddy. Ew, ew. Ew, ew. Come through, come through, come through. Facebook Live. Yes, that is my baby daddy playing in the background. What y'all about?
Turn right to I-285 South.
Questions, you have passed my test. Happy people, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it, yes, them who people? Happy people. Come on, baby daddy. Other baby daddy.
He didn't cut me off.
That time that he was mad at you for 2 weeks.
He didn't cut me off, he was just mad.
Okay, but he wasn't speaking to you. It wasn't the same.
Why was he mad
you
at
weren't
you?
going there.
Because I rolled my eyes.
Hey, Juice.
Yeah.
Juice is no longer with him right now because I've been told she started training all the girls she needs to train. They will bring her back when she can train more girls. I've already been given the information.
What?
Yes. The same girl you rolled your eyes at, she's no longer with him right now because she's been training all the girls she needs to train right now. They will bring her back in when she needs to train more girls. You just confirm that Juice is the girl you rolled your eyes at.
Mm-hmm.
This is my source, secret source that gives me information. So you gonna tell me that I'm not true?
Okay,
it's
yeah.
not scaring you because it's scaring
He
you.
cut you out 2 weeks because of Juice.
I mean, that's why I definitely know about Juice because Juice has been around me a lot.
Juice is the one who trained you.
Juice is not trained me to do anything.
Okay, see, it's not, but the way it's like trained,
Juice is the
it's not
man.
like
She was
we're,
always-
see, but that's, it's
I
not
know
like
I
it's,
do.
okay, but the thing is that it's not like martial arts. This is not like martial arts where you train to learn something. It's you integrate into it. So you tell me the first
She
time
doesn't
you got
believe
to
Juice,
R. Kelly,
right?
you
Yeah, but that's the only girl I've
you
usually been around.
Juice is the one who's been with him for years.
But I don't know about the other girls.
So Juice is no longer with him right now because
you
she's
talking
trained
about?
all the girls she needs to train.
I don't know about all that training stuff. I don't know about all that. But
That means, Joyce,
I
let me
know
break
about
it down for you.
training.
Juice is the one like a madam. She the one tells you
Right.
who to have sex with, who she tells
Right,
you
she's
how to
trying
have
to tell the
sex and all
girls.
that.
She don't do that to me. So
Okay.
I mean, I know Juice.
To
But
be
you just
honest-
nigga, you know Juice. So the girls I'm giving the information from is accurate because they done already told me Juice is no longer with him right now until she's time to go back him to train new girls.
That's what I'm saying.
Johnson, that's the Juice. I'm giving the information from the people.
I know
She's
people
right.
ain't telling you
I'm
stuff.
getting, this is real
She's
people.
right though. That's why I'm saying.
I'm giving
scared.
accurate
She's right.
information. This
Yeah,
is
she's
not
right.
right. This is killing me. This baby I'm nervous right now. I'm getting information from people daily. Give me true information.
She's right. It's scary. There's nothing that she just said that was a lie. That's the same thing when she came to me over Thanksgiving break. There's nothing that she or your dad told me that they never lied. It was the exact thing. Which is
D,
why
who is D? Who is D?
I don't know who he is. Why we keep talking? I'm ready to go. Like, why I'm still
You don't know
here?
who he is?
Why are we still here? It's only been one time.
Okay.
What was her
That's
name?
it. But I only
What was
have
her name, George?
Okay.
What was her name?
No, I'm finna call.
What was her name?
He's ready. Call him. He's ready
Yeah.
about. He's about to call him.
What was her name?
So you guys have to live there one.
What was her name?
Oh my God.
What was her name? I
He's
got
ready.
her
Call
girl's
him.
name.
He's ready. Call him right now. He's like, I'm looking at him, about to call him.
I bet
Please
he's
answer
answer
questions.
if you don't answer.
He's about to.
Her name's April. It's one.
Who is April?
Joy.
It's
Joy. Please.
Who is April?
Please. It's here. Please.
Who is April?
Okay.
Please tell the truth.
Yeah, why are you trying to call
Who
her?
is April?
Okay, you tell her don't try.
Who is April? Who is April?
So you had sex with her.
Who is April? Is that one of his girls too?
Let me
I
call
only had
her.
sex with one person. That's
Who is
it.
April?
Oh my God.
So R. Kelly made you have sex with another girl? Let me call this
Who is
nigga.
April?
He's calling.
I'll curse his ass out.
He made you have sex with another
You
girl?
did not make me have sex with
You
another
wanted to
girl.
have sex with her?
No, I didn't. Oh my God.
You didn't want to have sex. Who is April? Who is April?
Who is April?
Who is April?
Who is April?
This is getting old.
Who is
Why do we
April?
keep talking about R. Kelly?
R. Kelly made you have sex with another
No,
girl?
nobody made me have sex with nobody.
So how did it happen? Did you want to have sex with her?
Oh my God.
Did you want to have sex with the girl?
No, it was just at the moment. Nobody.
It was at the moment because R. Kelly made you have sex with the girl. That's why you had
Who
sex
is
with the girl.
April?
Hold up. What happened? What you mean? R. Kelly wanted you to have sex?
No, I'm saying at the moment it was at the time, but it was just a one-time thing. That's
He had sex with her too?
What do you mean?
R. Kelly had sex with her too?
Obviously,
You ain't have
but then I'm saying I don't know anything about the other girl. That's what I'm saying.
Get that nigga on the phone. Who is April?
Lisa had a 9-year relationship with Kelly in the 1990s.
How does your experience, because I suppose you were there, pretty early on in all of this. How does your experience kind of tally up with what people are saying lately?
He was always controlling. He always wanted total control over everything.
How? What did he do?
If we were having sex, it wouldn't be a natural occurrence. If you have sex with him, he's talking you through every moment of it. He's telling you what sounds to make, what position to lay in, where to touch this, him or her or whatever, He's controlling. Like, he has to have total control over it. If you exercise your own free will or just try to do something on your own, he'll get an attitude.
Was it ever enjoyable? Was it ever a nice relationship?
Yeah, I did have good times with him. So that's part of the reason why I was able to stick around so long, because it wasn't just that. You know what I mean? But I did realize that he had a problem and I couldn't fix it, so.
What was the problem?
That he liked young girls, not even women. He likes young girls. I mean, when I realized, because when I first started dating him, I was 17. So I didn't realize that he really liked young girls. I just thought he liked me.
Are you suggesting he's a pedophile?
Yes, I am.
He won't do it because he knows what's going to happen once these girls get released. Once these girls come out, everything is going to come out. Everything.
And there it is. And everything is coming out. There's some sick shit going on with R. Kelly. And the thing is, we knew it was some sick stuff going on with R. Kelly with the Aaliyah situation. I've seen some videos of his younger brother, Carrie, talking about being molested by their older sister, both him and R. Kelly. I've heard stories of homosexuality involving R. Kelly. These are all alleged by some of the victims who are now. Everybody seems to be coming out with a book now. So you got Lisa Van Allen. She's all on the, everybody's on the talk circuit now. Everybody's on the radio circuit. Everybody's out promoting their books, talking about different things that went on with R. Kelly, the sexual activity with R. Kelly. It's like everybody's looking to benefit. Geronda Pace, she's the one that told the graphic story of strapping on a dildo at 16 and riding R. Kelly and seeing R. Kelly have another man perform oral sex on him in her presence. Hey, Will, I see you out there, cuz. So all these women are coming out. I really don't have a whole lot of patience with the older women like Kitty Jones, who has put out her book. What's the name of her book? Kitty Jones' book is called, I wrote it down here. I was somebody before this. You were a DJ in another city, and you quit your job and ran across the country to be with R. Kelly, and you were 33 years old, and so you were just a damn fool. And you went along and you had heard the stories, and it's a pretty common story that goes with all these women and children. They all heard the stories of what happened with Aaliyah and the young lady, but everybody chose to pursue it. So this Kitty Jones, she's like, well, I had never seen the video or anything, but you're a radio personality, so surely you had come across that. There was another young lady, she was 34, Asadi McGee. And I don't know if she was just going through something. She had went through a divorce and everything, but now she's got a book out too. I don't know if I wrote down the name of her book. But it's right here on the page here in front of you. It says, No Longer Trapped in the Closet, the Asante McGee story. She was another one that would cut people off if they start talking negative about R. Kelly. Like the clip I just showed you, we had Drea Kelly riding around. That was the Facebook posting, and I don't know if it's from this year or another time, but she was riding around, it might have been a year or so ago, bumping R. Kelly music, saying that's my baby daddy, you know, blah, blah, blah. But now that the time has come around where all the exposing is being done, let me jump back and flip in and put my tears on and get on this bandwagon. I had her page up here too. Oh, here's Drea Kelly. Your name is Drea Lee. You can always go out there and change your name and all that. She's told some stories about talking about the things that she had to do and endure, and R. Kelly not paying any child support and not wanting any child support. Oh, I'm doing the show tonight because I don't know where y'all at. I'm at home doing the show. So she's got her page. She's making all the circuits, giving her opinions, telling about her thoughts of suicide, saying that she didn't know a lot about a lot of the stuff that was going on, which I find absolutely crazy. He married her after the Aaliyah situation. And as you saw in the documentaries and other things that out there, she had to ask to come down and get a drink of water. She never said that she had to call him daddy like all the other girls had to call him daddy. The one young lady, John DePace, damn, I forgot to load. There's an excerpt from her book where it starts with an open letter to R. Kelly saying daddy, you know, it says daddy, and she's still saying, well, I love him, but I have to expose him because of he needs help. So that's the one common thing, that everybody is agreeing that he needs help. And she's moved on with her life, and she's got 3 children. But just like the girl Faith Rogers that was in the video, Geronda also has contracted herpes. So Lisa Van Allen says she hadn't contracted it. But these are some of the cases that they're trying to put out there of that he knowingly gave women a sexually transmitted disease, which is a crime if they can prove it. But I guess they would have to be able to get his medical records. Kim Fox here in Chicago has put a call out for people or women who are victims of R. Kelly to step forward, call her office, because as she says, they can't prosecute anything if no one's coming forward. If all these people sign these non-disclosure agreements, then they can't say anything unless they want to give back the money or whatever. And I think one of them, Geronda Price, I think she did say she stopped taking payments from R. Kelly. And this seemed to be a known thing throughout his family. There was even a disturbing report where I saw his brother on something, and his brother said that he had seen some of the tapes that R. Kelly had made that nobody has ever seen, and that supposedly they destroyed. And maybe some of those tapes were with Aaliyah and other folks. And he said I talked to my brother. You know, I told him he needed to get some help. You know, destroy all this stuff. But again, nobody. He had that information. Other people in the camp, even Sparkle, and I like Sparkle, but she brought her niece to that studio. And when she said she started coming and seeing her niece there by herself, that should have been a warning sign right there. So they didn't warn. I guess the bells and whistles didn't go out, but now she's estranged from her family because she knew that was the video. She knew that was her niece when she went down to the newspaper and saw the video before it was even released. Everybody knew who it was. We all saw it, and we all just went on dancing. That's the story of the Pied Piper. The Pied Piper, I think it's Pied Piper of Hamlin or something like that. The village of Hamlin had a problem with rats. And the Pied Piper was a wanderer traveler, but he had a unique ability, and he told the villagers he could get rid of all the rats if they just, pay him some money, so much gold or something. So they agreed, and he played his little flute, and all the rats followed him and fell in the water or some crap like that. And then when he came back for his money, they said no. But they didn't realize he had the ability to charm children also. So what does he do? He charms all the children. R. Kelly appears to have a fetish, allegedly, for children between the ages of 14 and 16. Most of the people he's dealing with, that's that age, and he's running that pimp one-on-one stuff on them, and he's looking for the girls from broken families and in poverty and don't have much. Like Geronda Price, she was like, her father was in jail and her mother worked a lot, so she would just say she's going to a friend's house. Now, in her book, she describes herself as a little fast-tailed girl, using some real suggestive language like a juicy coochie and all this other type of stuff, and how they were getting ready and how she admired her friend who was good at, hooking up with ballers and stuff like that, and how they kind of hatched a little plot to go and get noticed by R. Kelly and got the number, and this is how she worked her way into it. And she realized she was above her head, but she had put it out there like that. We're not excusing R. Kelly tonight, but a lot of stuff went on. The Savages, the video where you see the young lady Joycelyn, that's the one that's currently with her, with him. That was the one that was on TMZ, saying I'm not here against my will or anything like that. I'm pretty sure she's probably got herpes too. Allegedly, they got some information on that. But you saw the way that they were talking to her and trying to address her. Now, this is when she was 19, and her and a friend came back home or something, and they filmed the interaction. And apparently, this other young lady who was there, June or whoever they were saying in the video, was the original trainer. And that was the original trainer that was training her, even though June was the original trainer that was training her to be in the position she's in now. Because as you go through the documentary, you notice he brings Joycelyn in now to do the training. to explain to the girls how he likes it done, the way he gets down, how to sleep with the other people. You know, so she just sat there and lied. So it was obvious that he had already been messing with her and other girls, and the parents already knew about it. I mean, they said they were going to call R. Kelly, but why hadn't nobody gone and gave R. Kelly a 2-piece by now? Yeah, she's 19, but a 2-piece could have still been ordered for R. Kelly. Just on GP, you know, I saw this video. The father, he went out and he posted the video. That's why the Savages, they like down there in Atlanta, and I think they had a whole bunch of aspirations to get some type of career going on for themselves or their daughter, you know, chasing fame. And that's why it was easy for them to give their daughter over to R. Kelly. Because he posted a video. He's outside the car. He's got a baseball bat. You know, he's talking crap to the camera. Talking about what he's going to do to R. Kelly. You know, he got the trunk of the car open. Who does that? All that energy. You know, you could be doing something different. You know, a lot of people don't agree with what a lot of people are saying. Master P came out and said something yesterday. Pretty much the same thing I said on Monday, but then he had to come out and apologize, you know, the public opinion thing. And he basically said the same thing I said. If you know a location where R. Kelly's at and you know he's there, if you can pin that down and go to that location, it'll make a difference if you opening the door or not. You're going to come out when you see the flames flying. Now, if your, like Master P said, now if your child continues to run back like so many other girls that did leave, I think there was one girl named Dominique, and she's been back and forth with him for the past 8 years. On the documentary, she's the one that got rescued. She's the one that he would dress up like a little boy. And that was on some whole different things. But as I heard about the homosexuality and weird sex things that he was doing, then that started to kind of make a little sense too. But whatever it is, now there was accusations that he wouldn't feed them for days, and then when he did feed them, he would be feeding them crushed drugs and things in their food without their knowledge. That would have to be proved through some type of toxicology report. But like I say, it just gets deeper and deeper, and you know, and everybody's like, well, you know, they got all this momentum now. Kim Fox was working in the I think the state's attorney office at the time when these tapes came out, and maybe she's got a little personal thing going because she's a sex offense survivor. You got all the different radio stations. You got headlines all over. You can't turn on your radio. You can't turn on your TV without this being a headline. And hopefully they can bring some people together and actually get him the legal way. You know, and everybody, we don't know what we would do in those shoes, but we can imagine what we're going to do. You know, they were like, well, we went to the concert and we had tickets and all that and so and so. I said, okay, what happened to the part where you were throwing chairs up on the stage, disrupting the concert? Where's the episodes of you getting in fights with his bodyguards, where you jacking up his cars? Like I said, it's, you know, it's your child. What are you gonna do when your child is sitting up in that situation? And that could be any situation. If your child was locked up somewhere, and if it was a dope house or whatever it was, you still gonna go to that dope house like, hey, you're gonna have to run my kid out here. Ain't nobody listening to nothing that people are saying. But you out here throwing tablets up at the window and everything. That's kind of crazy to me. some of the clips I showed were from a documentary, even before the Lifetime documentary came out just recently, back in March. I think it was March or May. Back in March, all those same ladies did a video for the BBC. And if you're not watching this live, I don't know if the BBC is going to mark that as copyrighted, so it may not be. I tried to hide it inside another stream, so maybe we'll get it through. But that video was called, you can look it up on YouTube, it's called Sex, Girls, and STDs. And it gives kind of the same view, the same testimony, because a lot of times when you're talking to someone and they're telling a lie, the stories will change. But these women's stories remain consistent all the way through. A lot of them said, especially some of the later victims were 19, 18, you know, some may have been 17 according to what state they're in. The laws are different. And they willingly went, but you can tell as young women, they were confused in the statements. The one was like, well, it was consensual, but it was aggressive consensual. I didn't really want to do it, but he can be intimidating sometimes. Okay, hon, then that's not consensual. That shows you the mindset of a young lady. And, you know, she wound up contracting herpes. So she's one of the people that is trying to do this lawsuit. There were others that witnessed things in the house, other stars. Like he used to help K. Michelle out. And she talked about the craziness that she saw in the house and how she felt kind of sorry for some of the girls. You had other people like Dame Dash, who was dating Aaliyah when she died, and he said she had told him so many different stories, and it was hard for him to even, when him and Jay did the Double Something album, and he really wasn't down with that, so he didn't want no money or anything from that because he has too much inside. And there's so many people in the industry that were making money with this dude. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. I mean, the dude was a megastar. But maybe he never becomes a megastar if it stopped at Aaliyah. And that's the first one we know about. We don't know about, there may have been ones before Aaliyah. Something had to be happening before Aaliyah for him to start having sex with a 15-year-old girl. And regardless of what the mother says, there's documentation that they were married, that documents were forged, and the person sat on the documentary and admitted to forging it. People sat in these studios and knew that there were girls in these different rooms with buckets, not being allowed to move around and circulate. So it's too much complicity in this setup for me, and I think that may be a problem with any type of lawsuit. I mean, they're trying to get him on the one girl who was, I think she's still with him too, and I think they found the text on her iCloud account that she shared with her mother, that when she first went down to Florida at the age of 17, I guess a couple of months before her 18th birthday, that they had a text going between each other talking about that they did have sex. That was a few years ago. I don't know what the age of consent is in Florida. He may have been researching this thing and got her down to Florida. I'm sure he had been doing all this for a while because he had all these non-disclosure letters. He had them signing documentation that they had committed crimes against him, stolen stuff from him, and they were working there because of working off the debts. And if they were older, he would get the older girls to participate in sex with younger young ladies to implement themselves in those crimes of having sex with minors. So it just became a continual cycle of abuse. And the brother, he went into detail about how, I guess it's 4 siblings. They got a sister, and then they have the older brother that was on the documentary in jail. He just seems to be a piece of crap. So he's in jail, and then they had a sister older than them. So they said those were kind of closer in age, 2 years apart in age. So she never tried nothing with him. But with R. Kelly and the younger brother, she had a routine of putting on a robe and making them lay on top of her, or making them perform congolingus on them, tell them to lick their tongues out and lick faster. And they say this went on from the times of age 6 to 12 over a long period of time. So a lot of abusers do wind up being abusers. But R. Kelly most likely probably was molested by a man also, if the stories are true, and that he's now enjoying, according to this young lady, Geronda Pace, being penetrated and being called a little freak. What's the name of her book? Her book is called Life Beyond Abuse, Daddy's Little Freak. Because she said when they would engage in this type of activity, that he wanted to be called Daddy's Little Freak. So it just got so crazy and convoluted, and like the father said at the beginning of the video, it's all coming out. And I don't know what can be done. And they were saying even if they did catch him on even the situation of giving the girl a herpes, that the max that he could probably get something on that would be a year. He gave it to a couple of girls, maybe a couple of years, but you know how the court system works, and you got a good enough lawyer, boom, you can get out. We would hope that maybe he would come to his senses and shut down these homes and things. He's been losing monies. That's why he's staying in the studios, because all this property was foreclosed on. He's talking about running off to Africa, but that's not going to solve his problem. I don't know if it'll work for him like it works for all the other criminal behavior type people out there. Get on TV and apologize, say you're going to get some help, and disappear for 5 or 6 years, and then come back. But I don't think a lot of people are going to stop playing this music. On the way home, I was listening to the radio, and they were saying that his music continues to spike. People are streaming R. Kelly. People are still stepping in the name of love and all this. And like I said, I didn't stop buying Michael Jackson music because I didn't believe that Michael Jackson did it. Cosby Show comes on, I'm watching the Cosby Show. Maybe it's my morals. Maybe my morals are, right? But like I said, if all these people around, the people that were there, didn't do what they were supposed to do when they had the opportunities, even that young lady's, we all saw the video, and that child's uncle and her got up and said that wasn't her in the video. They took the money. The uncle continued to work with R. Kelly. Aaliyah's uncle, godfather, whatever he was, continued to work with R. Kelly. I heard a rumor about some publishing things where Aaliyah's family was getting royalties or something from his publishing rights because R. Kelly can't really read that good. He's dyslexic, and that they were able to put some documents in to convert some royalties over. I don't know how true that is. I tried to search for that information. I couldn't find that information. That would be jacked up. But in his latest song, he was talking about all these things. I Admit, or whatever that song is called. But I heard he's got some other music out right now too. And then I'm missing, you know, everybody's like, well, it's all this Me Too. I said, well, you know, the Me Too seems to be more white women. I don't see a lot of white women jumping into the R. Kelly thing unless they're just part of some group and they just want to be out there. Because it seemed like he had enough sense not to mess with the white women. Because he knows, it's like we all know, that carries a different connotation. When you start holding white women for hostage and all that, that's not going to be tolerated. And justice will be swift on that end. And that leads us to the thing, is there, well, we don't have to say, is there a difference with black women? Do black women matter? They're just like us. They're just like black men. We really don't matter in the justice system unless we're on the wrong end of the justice line. Do I expect to see R. Kelly going to jail for this? Honestly, no. Because there's too many complicit parties in this situation. There's too many people that were helping this dude. Dude had like 23 lawyers. You got all these agreements where you signed off on it. Like I say, I'm still amazed that he hasn't called a two-piece, and some of the people around him. It's amazing. But I understand people don't want to go to jail for rescuing their kid. They rather see their kid peeking through a windowsill. It seems like to me the young lady Jocelyn, who's now the trainer, she seems content with her situation. No matter how messed up it is, she's a 23-year-old woman now. And the bottom line is, obviously there was something going on at the household that would make a child want to be over here in the false reality than be at home under the love and care of your family, who's a well-to-do family. It's not like they were struggling. They own a few successful hair salons in Atlanta. You can look at the house and say they have money and everything, but there's something lacking there where she has chosen to go in and be with R. Kelly. I think in the next 30 to 60 days, either R. Kelly is going to be indicted on some charges, or he's going to release these young ladies before he gets himself into some trouble that is beyond the law. And I think we all understand what that situation can be. When you start messing with people's kids, it can go real bad, real fast. And that's what he's got to think about. And if he doesn't think about it and somebody does something to him, that's on him. And that's all we got to say on that. Love, peace. So, we out of here.
Step out of the car. No, you don't have the right. Step out of the car.
Do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove you.
I refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Now, if your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young minds, check it out. You got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide. You a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you won't. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga.